Annyeong and welcome to Hallyujuku, starring Brandon Cooper and myself, Petey Ray. This is episode 63, Fiending for Love Jams. Enjoy! Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to another fine episode of Hallyujuku. I'm Petey Ray, your man with no plans. Here with me, as always, is my tag team partner, my buddy, my pal, Brandon Cooper, aka King Kaz. How you doing, Kaz?
I'm fine. My cat almost jumped into the garbage can. I am doing well. Welcome to the internet.
Yes. Where it is ruled by cats. Like ancient Egypt, you know? That's just how it is.
Pretty much. Our rise and our downfall.
So, of course, we talk about East Asian pop culture, and we talk about what's new at the beginning of every episode. I wanted to throw in something of another for the news. So we talk about something that came out recently, spearheaded by our boy, Sani. He decided he was inspired by the We Are the World and decided to make a kind of a hip-hop version of We Are the World, except that it didn't end up being as cheesy. And just kind of created a kind of a unifying pass the mic hip-hop song, a bunch of MCs from different countries. The project is called hashtag, of course, hashtag hip hop is hip hop. The song is Hip Hop for the World. And it's actually a pretty cool song. Like, the idea behind it is really cool, and like the MCs deliver pretty well. Kaz, what did you think of Hip Hop is Hip Hop?
At first I saw the title. I went hashtag hip hop is hip hop. All right, shotgun. But I saw Sunny, I saw KRS-One, and I kind of went, you know what? I feel like this is in good hands. And you know, it starts out very, very dominantly with Sunny, so you can definitely tell that this is very much his project that he's spearheading. And you have to get a lot of KRS-One in there, because that's the only way you're going to get him in there. Yeah. And then once you kind of start to pass the mic, and you do take this kind of trek around the globe, like I did not think it was going to be as international as it was. There were a few flags and places that popped up that made me go,
yeah.
Okay.
Like, Italy.
I didn't. Yeah.
Bosnia, right here.
Yeah, like Bosnia is one of those places. I was not expecting a hip hop artist from Bosnia to pop up into this thing. But no, I thought it was really cool. I thought it was handled really well. Because like you said, there is very, very much a layer of cheese that could have got laid on top of this. Yeah. And it could have been really, really bad if in the wrong hands. But I think Sonny, being a person that we've praised before for being very genuine to what he loves in the culture of hip hop. Yeah, he does a lot of the kind of cheesy reality TV shows that are being presented in Korea of hip hop and all these kind of things. But even with that, there's still some genuineness in them. Like, even as much as we have shown disdain for the lady rap show in Korea, not because of the ladies or anything like that, but how it's handled and how it's presented. But a lot of the genuine parts come from Sonny and from the girls and things like that. Even in Show Me the Money, a lot of genuineness came from the people that they picked to be producers and the people who lasted throughout that process. So that part for me in this made me feel really good. There was a lot of this I had a hard time following, especially when you're switching up accents and languages like that, even though the words are on the screen. But other than that, like you said, I for the most part, what I could keep up with, I really felt really fun and genuine. And I think that's what you want out of this.
Yeah, it was fascinating, like how like it builds and flows. I'd be interested to see like how the process was for getting the song or getting the the rapping and pairing it with what beat, or was if the beats came first or the rapping came first, or because the most interesting part is the fact that once KRS-One comes into the into the song at the end, because he's the main event, all the music disappears. Like it's just KRS-One just a cappella, for lack of a better word, just on the mic, and then like there's parts where there's the rapper from Bangladesh over beatboxing from a kid from Korea. So it's like, I wonder how that worked out, but it all worked really well.
From what I'm probably understanding, especially this being handled by Sonny and a lot of the production being handled in Korea, it seems as thus a lot of the background stuff was done first. So a lot of and this is just me very much assuming. I have no ties to anything to speak on this at any level of intelligence. But I feel like most likely you get the parts you can get first, right?
Yeah.
So he probably put together the DJ, put together the production, put together the beats, and then slowly but surely worked on securing the people to rap on these track on this track.
Like whatever, like, yeah, I guess like in by chunk, like this part of the beat, this person will take care of this part of the beat. Where it switches up to this part of the beat, this person will take care of that we called up. Well, yeah, that definitely makes that. So then KRS-One just kind of comes in and it just shuts everything down, and that's always fun. And you gotta love that. Chris Parker taking over. And it's fun. Hip hop is hip hop, and it's pretty fantastic. But yeah, Kaz, what is new with you? Let me ask.
New for me, especially today, is I ordered a bunch of shit from Amazon, and some of it got here. I'm waiting on some other stuff. But I ordered some products from a company called Altura. They I'm not going to say they make cleaning products. They kind of put together cleaning kits is more what they do, but it's really a lovely product if you're into photography or just kind of like keeping, I'm trying to adjust my camera, just like keeping your technology gear clean and very friendly. So they give you these lovely microfiber cloths that you can use. They gave me a fucking big giant one, which what am I going to clean this? I guess I can clean my TV with this big ass thing. But yeah, no, it's a nice little kit to throw in my bag for my camera. This is just obviously a makeup brush.
Yeah.
That has an ulterior motive. But the two things that I really wanted out of this kit were three things. The microfiber cloths, because there was a really good quickly cleaning your screen. These little air blower things, awesome, because you don't want to use the chemical air things in your camera to get dust out. And these little sensor dust brushes that you can actually use, because it just slides out and you got a brush.
Yay.
And it slides back in, and then you take the pen cap off, and you have a flat brush that you can use to clean things. So that was really cool. I'm glad I got that stuff. That's something nice to have around. I can't wait to get the rest of my shit from Amazon. Which some of it might be a tripod. Oh shit!
Oh yeah.
And some other camera gear, which will probably put to a lot of use at ASIN. I know we talk about ASIN a lot and make plays at it, but it's a good time in for me and Petey. and to have fun and do things. And we're going to try to make it bigger and better this year. So that's what's new with me this week.
Yeah. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for on youtube.com/RABellyTV. God damn it, Brian Ibbett. But yeah, music wise, what's new with you music wise? I know one of them is one I forced into your hand.
Well, one of them is what I was going to use anyway, but I was glad that it later got posted with a title that will be readable for other people. Yes. Because I was going to use the Mnet one. Benzino's been kind of making a quiet little storm lately this week. There was a couple of live performances from him in a couple of shows and things like that. And this is a really cool, simple music video for the song "So What."
That first show, I think it's like they did it on the show Four Things show. It was like some show, and then like it, they released it as an official thing.
Yeah. So it's really simple. It's really cool. It's very like you can tell it's done on a stage, but that's not the point. It's Benzino coming out with a song. And it's really good. I have said before, I enjoy Benzino, and I know I have said it in a way that makes it seem like I don't, but I do. I really enjoy, Benzino. He's not one of my favorites of the Korean rap scene, but the thing about it is Benzino is really, really lyrically inclined. I love his wordplay, especially if you can kind of understand some of the Korean jib jab that he uses. And I don't know why I just said the word jib jab, but if you can understand some of that, it's really fun and how he decides to use words and where he decides to use them. And he's just kind of a cool guy. Like he's just really like chill. And it kind of comes across in his music and his style. Yeah. So that's something I really enjoy about Benzino.
Yeah, I was glad that you had seen it and were wanting to use it because I had an excess of songs of like, I want to throw this song into. Let me put it in Kaz's part. Yeah. Let me give it to him on Skype and hope he sees it in time and throw it in.
I did the thing where because sometimes you'll send me stuff and I'll click on it and be like, oh, I already saw that, and I'll just close it, and I mean to like tell you like, oh, I saw that one. But this one I had like just watched it like 5 minutes ago. Yeah. So I was like, oh no, I already saw that. So I just automatically closed it and went back to what I was doing. And then later on I was like, oh, I didn't tell him that I already looked at it or whatever. So like I was like on Mnet getting the link when I saw the doc, and I was like, oh wait, what? I was like, did he change like the whole thing? And I clicked on it and I was like, oh okay, no, it's on CJ Music. Okay.
Yeah. But yes. Moving on. What else you got for us?
Moving on, we've been talking about them a lot, kind of anticipating the slow crawl of release that they're going to do, because we know they're going to be releasing a lot of songs, and that's Boyfriend. And then if you kind of follow the show or whatever, we've been talking about Boyfriend a lot just because of the label that they're on and kind of all the stuff that's going on. Yeah. But we've been kind of anticipating the rest of what they're going to do and showing off their visual style and all these things in their videos. So Boyfriend released a new song called Bounce, which is actually enjoyable and really good. And I liked it. And I was very surprised that I liked it.
They're kind of known as oddly enough for a boy group to be the other to a girl group, which is the opposite of how things work in K-pop. But Boyfriend is kind of the brother group to Sistar, or at least not in that sense. I guess just label mates to Sistar. And Sistar being the big group out of Starship Entertainment. It's a cool song, an interesting video. The twins look a little odd now with their like super short hair after being on Real Men apparently, and like shaving down their hair. So they look a little weird, but the visual is cool, like the nice mix of colors. I didn't notice again, and it finally brings it back to attention, the classic K-pop boy group slapping of the camera. move that they do. It was like,
yeah. What the hell just happened to my audio?
And last but not least, what else you got, Cass?
So we've been talking about doing more Japanese stuff, and we've also been talking about doing more Visual Kei stuff. So I figured I'd take the chance to actually bring more Visual Kei stuff to the table.
Yes.
So this is a band called Nightmare. They are a Visual Kei band. Which is a very obvious once you start this video. They are a Visual Kei band.
Yeah.
Lots of makeup, lots of looking like vampires, lots of pretty Japanese men in fluttery clothing, as we'll say. Nightmare is a very well-known band. They've done some things for anime, namely Death Note is one of the big ones that they've done work for before. And this is a new song from Nightmare. Now, I haven't really followed Nightmare. I know of Nightmare because of anime things, but I haven't really ever followed followed them like kind of hardcore. But so I know this is a new release from them called Quince, and it's really enjoyable. And it's one of those things that, you know, when I hear good Visual Kei, it always makes me like, oh man, I really should kind of take that dive hardcore into Visual Kei and really listen to it. So like this is something I really enjoyed, and I from what I remember, there are songs that they did for Death Note, and I remember them being really good in the time that I listened to them. So this is something that if you're kind of one of those people who are on the fence, but you know you like anime, you like the Asian culture and music stuff, I would say definitely give Visual Kei a try. Nightmare is a good place to start, and like I said, TM Revolution is definitely always a fun place to start if you want to do the Visual Kei thing.
The Visual Kei journey, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So Journey isn't a Visual Kei band, they're because they're American.
No.
It's a Visual Kei adventure.
They're not pretty at all.
I mean, as much as Steve Perry wants to be, he's not very pretty. But they do have that Vietnamese boy now singing for them, so guess that close.
They're getting there, I guess. Maybe one day, Journey will just be a
one day.
K band.
Love will find you. Break those chains that bind you. But yeah, Nightmare is a cool song. It's a catchy, fun, cool song that works well and compositionally it's cool. And I dug it. Like just listening to it now, it's just a style. But yeah, Visual Kei. We're gonna start throwing some more Visual Kei. I swear, I swear, we're gonna get the Juku back in Hallyujuku. Get the Juku.
Slowly but surely.
Yes.
Slowly but surely. I'm getting there. Give me time. God damn it. I gotta turn over rocks. Basically, it's hard for me to find Japanese music nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for a lot of people to find Japanese music. But yeah, moving on. I'm gonna throw in some. My first thing I'm gonna. I realized that I did have a show and tell. I thought I wouldn't have a show and tell of my own, but I do have one too. I have these two CDs that I just got in the mail. One you'll recognize, one you might not. This is of course Epic High's Shoebox.
Nice.
And this is Love X Stereo's We Love We Leave. Part 1. Again, fantastic. And of course, keeping with tradition of more, the K-pop style, the box that contains the CDs actually has some really cool stuff. Has a nice book with all the lyrics that I'm not quite proficient in Korean enough to truly read, but they're there. They're written well, and there's some handwriting.
I'm pretty sure these are the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Can't read them all. But I know that word, and that word's in the song.
Of course, this is the CD, and this is because it's a special edition. This CD contains the commentary tracks, which is an entire commentary track for every track on the CD. It's Tableau, Mithragen, DJ Two Cuts talking about the making of the album. Of course, it's all in Korean and it's all audio. So I'm gonna have to go find somewhere where somebody uploaded it with English subs. But that's beside the point. But
that's interesting.
Yeah, so like they did a commentary track of all the songs and what went into making the songs and the ideas that went into making the songs.
Like, so I'm familiar with a commentary track, right? But a commentary track generally goes along with visual things.
Yeah.
Movies, TV shows, things like that. So a commentary track for something that is specifically audio is interesting, but it's not mind blowing.
Yes.
I don't want to come across like I fucking just found out smartphones were a thing.
Yes.
Like what? Oh my god!
Or
what?
like how
you can do that now?
Or Apple people finding out that smartwatches are a thing now that Apple did one.
Right. Like what? You can have technology in your watch? Oh. Yes, people, you can. But no, this is kind of interesting to me. I don't think I've ever come across it before. I'm pretty sure other people have done it. Like, but I don't know. I find that really interesting and cool.
But yeah, that's really cool stuff. I'm glad to have it. I'm excited. Of course, the Love X Stereo is a really cool song. People should check it out. Really cool track. Bunch of cool songs. Let's check it out. But moving on, I did have quite a few things. Moving on, this is not technically going to talk about anime, but tangentially connected to an anime and a manga and a magazine serial.
Well, it's a very musical anime and manga.
It's a multimedia franchise, yeah. Love Live.
So it encompasses all this thing. It's very much like what is her goddamn name? Hatsune Miku is, right? So Hatsune Miku kind of encompasses all of these things. She's a pop star. She's an anime character. She's, in genres of games because of the musical incline and all these kinds of things. So this thing that you're getting ready to talk about kind of encompasses that same thing.
Yeah. So what I'm talking about is Love Live's School Idol Festival for the phone. So let me boot it up here. Make noises, copyrighted music. Love Live School Idol Festival.
So much for this episode on YouTube.
We're gonna go back to that episode where we reviewed fucking My Love from Another Stars. That lost video episode. But yeah, School Idol Festival, and how I got into it was so that story we talked about, where we talked about that saddest little Kickstarter ever, about that little the K-pop idol simulator game. You talked about the games that exist.
Wait, now I want to go check.
It was that K-pop idol that looked like a Pokemon game that was gonna be something else. Then we talked about the kind of the idol simulation or idol games that existed out there, and this was one of the ones that was on Google Play that was like, well, I'll check this out. And it kind of sucked me in for one reason. It's a rhythm game. It's a free-to-play rhythm game. Really fun, easy to get into, hard to master, kind of as you go up into the better, the higher tiers of difficulty. Rhythm game. And that won me over purely on the fact that I love those little rhythm games. I played Frequency, I played Amplitude, my heart's content. I kickstarted the reboot to Amplitude. Like I played every Guitar Hero Harmonix did, all three Rock Bands. I'm going to pre-order Rock Band 4. So you give me a really good rhythm game and I'm hooked. and it's a really fun rhythm game. Partly rhythm game, partly card collecting game, card building game. Because part of the thing is, the more you do well, you get the characters. You get more and more members of your idol group, and they're like they basically, you want to consider them cards. You can also scout for them using friendship points. You can also do honor scouting using love gems. You know, you can do honor scouting with those. That's how you get your rares and your ultra rares and your super rares. And you know, the characters are separated into these 3 categories where they're with their stats leaning towards that category, with some you know, serviceable stats in the others. They could be smile, pure, or cool. You know, so you know, smiles are more the energetic, pure are more the kind of the wholehearted, pure, you know, characters, and cool are the cool, like almost sexy, if you want to say, or you know, cool characters. So you know, you but you don't want to just, if you, and the songs are separated into those categories as well. So having a team that's geared more towards the type of the song helps, but the idols also have abilities that you know, the different ones, those are rares. So like, some have score boosting abilities, some have stamina and recovery abilities, some have like you know, success window, you know, timing window enhancing. So you got to pick the right team. You have to have a mix. You can't just put in one side or the other for each team. You know, and then, you know, I thinking about all this, I had that moment in like a Bugs Bunny in that cartoon where he's at the Air Force Base and the gremlin is trying to blow up the missile with a mallet, and he says, let me take a whack at it, and he spins himself around to make a, you know, to get a really good you know, to get a really good swing, and then he stops right, you know, within the hair's reach of the missile and goes, "What am I doing?" I kind of had that moment. Because like, the managing of all these characters to kind of maximize your stats and try to succeed in these songs, it's so it again, I credit to the addictive nature of this game, that you know, you could like get into like managing all this, and you can idolize. So if you have more than one of a specific character in the card, you can idolize them, combine them into one, and then they change outfits, and then they become, and then you gives the ability to bond with them. You can also practice, that's special practice. You can also just regular practice, in which you feed your extraneous characters to them in practice, and level them up. And it is classic free to play, addictive, make you tempted to like go, hey, if you buy a love gem now, you don't have to wait to earn one at a time, you know. And it'll mess you up, because you can do, okay, so honor scouting is 5 love gems. Want to guess how in what increments they sell the love gems? 6.
2. Oh, 6. Okay.
They sell them in 1. 6. 11. Like, it's like the New York subway system, how they, you know, how they get you in the like to get you those extra, like, it's that same mentality. You can buy 6 gems with a certain amount of money, or you can buy just too much, and then you have this extra gem that you know you can't use, that you bought. That you feel like, man, I could earn some more, or I could buy another 6 gems, and now I have 2 gems that I can't use. So it's like, genius. Diabolical genius.
It's that very smart, you know, like we're gonna get you on this level, right? Because I will say this, right? I like Love Live, but that's because I came from it as being a fan of the anime, right? So I really enjoy the anime. So when I found out that there was all this extra shit to Love Live, and like going to conventions recently, there is this quiet storm of people who love Love Live, right? Because you see like just people decked out in Love Live gear, right? Not even just the girls in cosplay, but dudes with Love Live fucking jackets on and like Love Live like carrying bags and like all kinds of shit, you know. Like this thing is slowly one of those dominant forces that just kind of comes along, and it's because of the quiet little things that it does. Like the anime is kind of fun and kitschy. The game is, like you said, it has that free playability that just kind of grabs you to just, it's fun, it's easy to get into, but then there are those little things where, like you said, like, oh, okay, so there's this whole system, oh, collecting the girls, you know, and you could see how somebody who's not even a fan of the anime could totally get into it, like you have, where you're just like, oh, okay, no, I want to, oh, man, I want to collect that. Oh, what is she able to do? Oh, man, oh, that's definitely a skill I need because I can't hit those buttons fast enough, you know, and then you're just like, oh, man, I really need those gems, though. You're like, huh. I need to get my hands on those gems somehow, some way. How am I gonna
Can
do
earn
that?
them. I mean, and they gave
Right.
like this month, like this week, they're giving away one for every day you log in, just to celebrate 1 million subscribers. And then you know they do it. They of course they do the regular daily login prize, of course, because it's a free to play game. And you know, it's sometimes it's money, it's friendship points, and gem. The next day, 1 day money, 1 day friendship point, 1 day it's a gem. And it'll mess you up, man. It'll mess you up. But it is a fantastically, and I won't. I actually started watching the anime, but I won't get into it on this show. I'll try to weasel my way onto the A through K podcast to talk about it. So I'll say that I'm gonna weasel my way on that show. To talk about that. But yeah, check out School Idol Festival. Or actually don't. If you know what's good for you, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do that to yourself. But it's out there. I'm gonna link it on the show notes anyways. You make your own decisions. I'm not your father. As far as I know. But let's talk about music. Let me get into the music that caught my attention because we have that and a couple other tracks to talk about. So let's get into it. Manju Pocket is the group, like a little cool little indie group that I saw an interview for, and I decided to check out some of the songs, and I'm gonna feature one of the songs, and they ended up being a really cool, like fun little indie group that has some really fun, catchy songs, and has this particularly fun video for their song "Go for a Drink," which is entirely, speaking of like the Japanese games, entirely looking like a dating sim, or
Yeah.
like like
it is so, it's so date to me, dude. Like I was watching it and I wasn't paying attention at first. Like you kind of know how you're like you're watching something, you're looking at it, but you're not necessarily putting two and two together to what's going on the screen. And I was just like, man, this is a slow moving video. Then I paid attention and I was like, why do I know this styling? And I was like, oh, because it's all the years I've spent playing dating sims. like, like this is very familiar to me. All right. So
yeah.
I thought it was really funny and cool.
Yeah, it was really fun, and the song's cute and catchy, and
God, and they got the fade out right. Like
yeah.
the way the person fades in and fades out, where it's so uncanny valley that a person would do that. Like, like they don't, like the person doesn't just walk in. They're already sitting down. Then they transition it.
Yeah.
So it's just like one of those things, and it's just like, oh man, I love it. It's so good.
Says make you we're gonna drink beer and things like that, and then to the point where the only choice is to go home. And but yeah, check it out, Manju Pocket. They're fun. They have some fun. But moving on, Lim Kim with the new songs Shio Tugaworo and solo fame. Lim Kim, also with a unique voice, come out with a song called "Are You a Grown Up?" I know I'm not a grown up, but
no, not even close.
Other than
not even close, baby.
Other than Machi, and it's a kind of keeping with her style, more along the lines of being cutesy and kind of peppy and kind of a little bit folksy, playing with her vocals a bit more falsetto than anything on this track than she usually does. But it's about kind of being a kid and growing up and, you know, kind of deciding not to be, you know, not to let go of being a little kid. You know, not let go of kind of that kid in you, uh, despite what expected, despite what you think you're supposed to be, and I liked it. I know that there's been reviews where they kind of like people have not really been feeling her falsetto in this track, but I'm okay with it. I like the song, and I like kind of the moments, and like the drunk kid, the drunk kid with the fake mustache is hilarious. And the kid with the coffee. But yeah, what did you think, Cass?
Yeah. I overall enjoyed it. Yeah, I could see how some people weren't super duper a fan of her vocals in this. But I overall enjoyed it. And I mean, come on, it's cute fucking kids, right?
Yeah.
So you're kind of already gonna win me over. And then Lin Kim is just kind of like super cute.
Yeah.
And attractive, and the video is just fun. So it's a kind of fun song, and yeah, like I said, there are some parts to the vocals where you're like, I don't know, but overall, as a song in general, I enjoyed it, and then the video is just too much fun to not enjoy and have fun with.
Yeah, make it, no, don't forget your inner child. Have a little fun. Have some. Play some green light, red light, whenever you get the chance. Maybe we'll do that at ASIN. We'll do like a large scale green light, red light. We'll do that or something like that. That'd be fun. But yeah, on the other track that caught my attention, new track from Fiestar, off of their threesome anthem, one more. This one is their "Your busted ass is lame now that we're broken up" anthem. You're pitiful. So one thing, Jay is looking as fine as hell. Two, it's a really nice, cool, sexy song, and the choreography is done really well. And three, I cannot believe that in any of the performances I've watched, nobody has fallen off of one of those chairs. I don't understand. I'm going to guess all the falling happened in this in the dance practice studio, and at this point, I'm gonna say at least 3 of them have artificial knees. I'm just putting that out there, the possibility. But yeah, it's a pretty cool, sexy song and video. What did you think, Kaz?
So it kind of has this look that a lot of like the sexy videos we're starting to have now is very kind of washed over and bright colors with muted backgrounds, which I don't know. I'm starting at that point to get tired of that look, and that is just in the way it's recorded and kind of filming part. But the song I really enjoyed. Like you said, it is that anthem of like, God, you're so sad. Like we're done, and you just don't know when to stop. Yeah. And it's just, I feel sad for you.
Yeah. Like, yeah, and it's a really cool song. It's really, I like it. The one thing that's making it sad is apparently it's not succeeding that well, or at least it hasn't been doing well in the charts. And they in their comeback, in their initial comeback performances, they were already getting cut for time for music shows. Like, you know how that happens to some like musical acts after like their second or third performances. If they're, you know, after a couple performances, if they're a semi-successful group after like the first performance, you know, at least they give them a full performance the first time, but then they'll cut the rest of them. No, Fiestar right from the get-go, we're just gonna getting sliced off for time. So it's like, it's kind of sad, but it's sad because this is actually a cool, nice song, and they are attractive girls that have kind of busted their butts and having to already have member changes, stuff like that. So hopefully it does turn around at least a bit for them. Star. Those are the songs that caught my attention. There's a couple other songs that are worth noting. The former Locket Girls.
I'm sorry. No, please continue.
the former Locket Girls. You know, not hot off, but you know, after gaining a bit of notoriety for their you know, their sexy concepts for Marionette and for their butthurt dance, for the butthurt dance, and to kind of get being a little bit infamous off of that, are coming back with their song "Fool" or "Mongchongni," and it's okay. It's a song where they're kind of like playing off of the idea of like the hateful comments on the internet. But it's okay. Like it's nothing to write home about. But I definitely wanted to throw it in there, to point out the idea of like everybody was quick to shit on this, like the sexy concept, and say, oh, you know, what was it, getting too sexy and blah blah blah, and like not, and then you realize that before that song, they were the forgotten, at the, you know, assumed disbanded Locket Girls, and now they actually are like have some, you know, have some views on their videos. I mean, they got to hit the 301 plus videos, you know, views status, as in enough people initially watched their video to get stuck at 301 plus. Before the votes were before the views were verified, so has some name power now. So it's like,
yeah,
you know, like you want to talk about the sexy concept, and as much as kind of the song was okay and not really that good, it did get them the notoriety. And you could almost say that you would say that it was a success for sure. For what the goal was. But in the end, you know, this is an okay song, and the video is nice, but and the song's okay, but it is worth looking at the fact that the change in direction and getting that attention was worth it.
Can I also say, right? There's still a lot of focus on body parts in this video.
Yeah. Well, again, that's what works.
Right.
You're doing the splits.
But I enjoyed the video way more than I enjoyed the song.
Yeah.
I think the video and the styling of the video kind of spoke more for what it was than what the song did. I'm sorry, I'm getting bored by the song. Like I think the video kind of spoke more to all those things that you said, like how the, you know, the reaction to the YouTube comments and the kind of happiness for getting the, you know, the views and the notoriety, but then it coming with kind of the infamy and all these other things, and kind of trying to speak to that and say like, hey, you know, we were trying a thing, and it was the thing that we tried, and you know, we want to be sexy, but you know, fun and innocent too, and there shouldn't be anything wrong with that. And I could be reading way more into that than I should from a really cutesy video.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's the point that's trying to be made, and I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. The song,
meh.
Very much like Marionette. The song is meh. The video is more song. and Marionette was in it. Uh, again, butthurt dance. But last but not least, the other song that we should talk about. I think we're gonna have different opinions on this song. I would say, but we're gonna talk about it anyways. Rat Monster finally released that collab with Warren G. Called PDD or Please Don't Die. It's off of his it's gonna be, I guess, off of his upcoming mixtape, dropping that mixtape, or whatever it is gonna do.
You're doing mixtapes now.
I don't know. Yeah. Yes. But Rat Monster, it's the video is basically a tour of LA. The song is a Rat Monster track. I guess I was waiting for Warren G to show up, but then I realized he probably was just the studio and he helped make the beat. And he probably produced the beat, and that was mainly his contribution. And probably on the chorus helping out as well. But it was interesting song. It was an interesting video. I think Warren G provided a cool beat. I think Rat Monster, I honestly want to give him credit for the way he rapped. I think it was a lot better than I was expecting. He actually did a pretty good job. So some of the choice of words were odd, like the wankers. Like talk about wankers, which was odd, but and the I don't care that shit, go share that shit. It was odd, but I think overall it surprised me how well he flowed. I don't know. Well, what did you think?
Yeah. So all right, there's a lot of things that I agree with you on. Like the overall flow and the beat were a lot better than I expected it to be, right? Like that definitely caught me off guard. Like I wasn't expecting that. And on that part, on that part I actually liked it, right? So on the flow and the beat, I was like, holy shit, I'm actually enjoying this, right? But then, like you said, when you kind of get into the meat and potatoes of the song, there's a little bit of try hard in there.
Yeah.
And a little bit of like, so here was our thing, right? Our thing was the comparison between Tough Cookie and then the other songs Ziaiko has released, right?
Yeah.
And this is very much dead in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, it is so in the middle. It could have easily went either way. But it stops itself right in the middle. Like, it's not super try hard, but there is very much some try hard. Even the hook of the song, "Please don't die before I get my chance to shoot you." You know, like, you know, like you said, this goes out to the suckers and wankers. Like, come on, stop. Like you're getting into those try hard mentalities. But other than that, the parts of it where it's kind of more rap boasting and kind of putting your chest out there, I enjoyed, and I liked those parts.
And but the subtle shades, of like I think at least that Bobby, and like the references to Born Hater and things like that. They're very subtle and they were in the song. I'm trying to remember where they were, but
we're gonna have to, like, which I'm kind of despising, but we're gonna have to kind of go through it and pick it apart a little bit, I think.
Yeah. At some point,
and look for those things.
But yeah, I think going in with low expectations, it definitely exceeded those low expectations. So definitely worth checking out.
Yeah.
Definitely worth checking out. But that's it.
And you know what? I understand. You understand. We understand that we don't mean that in a bad way, but other people could take that in a bad way. It's just meant. We were expecting Tough Cookie.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, no matter how much I say I like Ziaiko after that, Tough Cookie is bad. It's way too try hard. It's way too on this side of try hard and doing all those kinds of things. This is very square in the center between Tough Cookie and good Korean hip hop and good boasting and pumping your chest out there and being kind of a man in your rap song and being like, yo, if it comes down to that, I'm gonna do what I need to do. But like I said, there are those subtle little things in there that make me kind of just not want to really like it. And I know I'm kind of have put myself in a camp where I don't want to like Rap Monster anyway, but I was gonna give him a chance to win me over, and he's earned some points, but he still hasn't won me
over. Yeah, I think we're gonna we'll wait and see once again. But that's it for the music. Try to wrap it up. We took a lot of time. That's it for like what's new. We're jumping into our headlines, trying to knock those out. Talk about some topical topics. There's some stuff to talk about. Join us over. Howdy! Welcome back to our headline segment. We're going to talk about some topical topics, some goings-on, some interesting articles. Let's dive in. This is an interesting article that I wanted to bring up that just to share with the fans out there. Something useful, something that you guys might have some use for if you're like particularly a fan of a particular group and you want to help them out. When the music shows, it's how to use Melon from overseas. Melon is one of the premier music streaming services in Korea. Without a doubt, Melon is the most important streaming site in Korea. The rankings on Melon affect all music shows that take rankings into consideration. This also has the widest variety of music available. It also only costs $9 a month. You get unlimited streaming, so it's like Spotify. Spotify. They also have Spotify over there, but this has already been there, so they have home turf. So this kind of walks you through on how to do everything. You'll need the following: an email address, a credit card that has not been, and you want to make sure that it's a Naver. You basically want a Naver or a Dom email address, a credit card that hasn't been associated with your current iTunes account, or just credit card if you don't have an iTunes account, and a Korean iTunes account. And then it kind of walks you through the steps, and you can do this if you care. I didn't do this because work, and I don't care that much. But hey, I know there's people out there that want to help, and here it is. Do you care, Kaz, enough to want to do all this?
Maybe. I only for the pure fact that I know there have been a few times where we wanted to get our hands on albums when they kind of initially were released, and
that's true,
and kind of some other things, and we've had to wait for it to either hit iTunes or Google Music or one of these things, and then like to pull that little iron curtain off, like me and Petey will either one of us will buy it and just send it to the other one or whatever. There have been a few times where we both bought it because it hit either thing that we were kind of keeping an eye on, and we're like, oh, I got it, I got it too, okay, cool, but more or less, I don't know. The system we've used has kind of been working, but then at the same time, like you said, even once you do this, there's still kind of some other work you got to go through to keep up with that.
And it's like you need a postal address. Also, you're also gonna need a postal address in Korea. You're gonna like have to know somebody who's like a teacher over there and is living there or something like that. You want it to be legit, so it's like, I don't know, maybe. If I ever become friends with like Simon or Martina, I'll just say my address is the You Are Here Cafe in Hongdae. It's like okay. Like I'll show up to the live chats. It's like, hey, nice, the Intra Kimchi live chats. It's like, hey, nice to meet you. Awesome live chat, guys. Hey, by the way, any mail getting there for me?
Have you seen my package? I think there's a package coming there for me. I don't know why. It's really weird. Yeah, but can you just send that to me? Just let them pile up for a couple days, and then just send it in one big priority mailbox.
But yeah. Moving on. Check that out if you're interested. Moving on. This one's some good.
Hold on. I want to say, if for any reason at all ever somebody who is in Korea does listen to this, this is your chance to start a business by letting people send packages to you, and then you taking a couple of dollars off of the shipping costs that they will then send you to have it shipped to them.
But yeah, moving on. A nice headline. Good news for hashtag Team Schadenfreude. Wu Yifan and Luhan rumored, keep in mind, rumors, to play brothers in upcoming TV series. This is delectable and delicious. Rumors of Wu Yifan, aka Chris, a boy Chris, Yeezus, and Luhan starring in the same Chinese television series Enchanted City, tentative name aka Huan Cheng, have surfaced on Chinese media platform. Again, Chinese media. Here's your grain of salt. Enjoy it. Chinese media platforms. In December last year, news started spreading on Chinese media portals that Wu Yifan and Luhan were being considered with different acting roles in Enchanted City, a television series adapted from the original novel written by Chinese writer Guo Jingming. In question in an interview about rookies he would like to collaborate with, Guo Jingmin himself named Wu Yifan and Luhan as two of the 4 candidates he would like to talk to if he had the opportunity. So it was like either it's tied together or it's just a woulda, coulda, will do if it happens. Who knows? There's a bunch of other people that could be tied to it. But this is a nice little headline for Team Schadenfreude in Nitcast. Yes.
I mean, it's like I said, you've been talking about this whole, that this is a rumor and that you're not sure. You know how much I hate kind of the rumor mill of these things.
Yeah.
But just you don't know what's going on or what to do with these things.
Yeah. But it's still, if it's true, it would be kind of and SM would lose their shit. Because they're still suing them for their activities. Which is kind of ridiculous. But yeah, when we go to ASIN, that's gonna be the thing. Now we have 2 jerseys to look for. We're gonna go to that K-pop booth. We're gonna roll up and be like, "Yo, you got them Chris and Luhan jerseys?" And who do you want? You want Chris or you want Luhan? I'll take the.
I want the Chris one. I want that Yeezus.
Yeezus? All right, I'll take Luhan. We'll rock them all. We'll show up at the K-pop panel, rocking them jerseys. And Team Freedom. But speaking of SM clusterfucks, Red Velvet adds 15th member. They don't have that many members. 5th member, Yeti, for reasons. NMO. Weird moves. SM Entertainment announced today that Red Velvet has added a 5th member to the group in Yeti. Why? Nobody has any idea. Are they struggling more than anticipated or something? Like, they are kind of a they have some aim and some variety. It's an odd move to just kind of throw this member in there. can you read the tea leaves and guess why they would do such a thing? Why they would like just throw this member in there?
Um, there could be a number of reasons. So the one I'm gonna go with in the Kaz maths out the world thing is, I'm gonna say it's one. It creates a news cycle.
Huh?
Um, two, kind of in general, you generally do five or more.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of groups that are four or less.
There are something like Sistar would be like the exception. I guess almost the exception that proves like like
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Um, and it could just maybe be that she was always initially meant to be part of the group, but something happened, or
Yeah. I'm wondering.
you're getting close to that time.
I'm wondering if they're anticipating with this comeback. You know when it comes when it, you know Red Velvet's job is in SM. I'm wondering if they're getting ahead of a scandal that hasn't broke yet. Like this, they know something coming.
This creates a whole cycle, right? Where they're like, oh, what's that back there? Hey, we got a new member for fucking Red Velvet,
And they're coming
bang.
back.
And then everybody else is like, whoa, what is that? What is that over there?
Like, no, man, Red Velvet, and there's a new comeback. This new song, ice cream cake, called ice cream cake. Red Velvet ice cream cake. Yeah, it's finished. They just finished it. They just finished recording it. I'm looking forward to that. And I think the byproduct of them using Red Velvet to cover up scandals is that Red Velvet is actually a fun little group, and they actually put cool songs out, and they are talented. So we get good thing, which I think it makes everyone happy. But moving on. Go through these headlines. Moving on. A cool, interesting new pilot variety show with a couple of big names attached to it. You know, I like the variety. And though I haven't really had a chance to talk too much about the shows, I watch a bunch of variety shows. A bunch of just like, you know, just on KBS World. Every once in a while I just throw it on my TV and I turn on KBS World and see if like I've remembered to catch the latest Hello Counselor or Happy Together, or, you know, something like that. I do dig me some variety shows. Yoo Jae-suk, Kim Gura to MC together in FBS's new pilot TV show. Your boy Jae-suk, somebody who we're both big fans of, somebody who I admire greatly. It's just a guy, and as a show host, and is just like as a good guy. Teaming up with Kim Gura, another, you know, venerable name in the variety game, especially the talk show variety game, are to collaborate for a new family variety show. An official involved in the broadcast company told TV Report, Yoo Jae-suk and Kim Gura are to appear in the new SBS pilot program together. The show is to be about observing teenagers who have a bad relationship with their parents. The show will display how the relationships recover. As the MCs, Yoo Jae-suk and Kim Gura will remain in the studio and have discussions about the families while watching recordings of them. This could be interesting, or it could be very cheesy.
Yeah.
This could be very cheesy, or it could be very. It could actually very much. It could actually hit on some topics and hit on some like
some topical
good, yeah, hit on some good discussion points and get some really good conversations happening, or it could just be like, you know, for nanny, some, you know, where it's just like, look at these rambunctious kids, let's beat some sense into them, you know, like or something like that. Like, I don't know. It's got some good talents in the MCs, but what do you think of the combination of the MCs and the format?
So this is gonna be a spy cam show, right?
Yeah.
Like you get that vibe that this is going to be a spy cam show, and that worries me.
Yeah.
I'm never really a fan of the spy cam show or anything close to it. So yeah.
It could have
just
vibes of
off
like
top, the spy cam shows scares the
Superman
fuck out of me.
Returns, kind of like it could have like a Superman Returns vibe, but without all the cute babies. uh,
Did you just go Superman Returns on me? The fuck?
Superman Returns, a variety show with like the MMA player dude and his daughter and like uh the
Oh,
the twins.
oh. I was like, fucking thinking of Superman Returns as in the movies.
Understandable. Understandable. Or the Return of Superman. It's it's the show that's killing show that's kicking Running Man's ass right now. Or that in one day, 2 days, I believe.
The Return of Superman. Yeah.
And days that it airs, right? Um, it's kicking ass something. But yeah, it could be interesting, but you know, it's UJ Suck is fantastic. Another, you know, hardest working man in the business, like the James Brown, a Korean variety, like more work for him. I think he likes it. He likes working hard. So you know, again, more like the man has a show on every channel.
Yeah. I don't know how he does it. I don't understand how he does it.
But yeah, I look forward to that. Hopefully there will be timely English subs available. Looking at you, Drama Fever. Please give us a try. Let us try it out. But yeah, moving on. Let's go to Japan. How about something? Japan's newest idol group, KGB84, hails from Okinawa, has an average age of 84. Japan's idol world is quite expansive, for lack of a better word. Even with the wide variety of groups running around, it can be hard to really tell them apart. Though we have to say there was no mistaking Osaka's Obachan for any other group. In fact, the old lady idol group, still growing strong, perhaps thanks in part to the dearth of elderly competition. But it looks like Obachan and AKB48 are about to face some new rivals, KBG 484, not KGB. That's the Russian army. KBG 84, Okinawa's own geriatric idol group. KBG's newest idol group, making headlines, is commonly described as Japan's idol group closest to heaven. It just sounds mean. It's like they're the idol group's closest to dying. Sounds weird, but apparently it's cute. So they live in Okinawa, which is a pretty rad place to live.
Closest to heaven.
You have to be 80. You have to be 80 years old to join, and the average age group is 84. Central figures of the group: Miki Hanashido, who's a mere 90 years old, and Tomi Menaka, who is 91. So in all fairness, this is a kind of a fun little group that probably is mainly for a tourist attraction. And for as an activity for the elderly of the town to kind of get out and do, you know, be out and about and have a hobby. But this is adorable. What do you think?
I don't know what to do. I legitimately do not know what to do with this information. Like, I don't know how to process this. Like, in no way do I understand how to process this. No way at all. I just can't. I can't process this. Like, this is like, who? What are you gonna do? What do you, like? Are they gonna produce music? Is it truly just a tourist attraction? Are you expecting them to dance? Who's gonna teach them to dance? What are you? I, my brain hurts. My brain hurts.
Apparently they've filmed a music video with Minaka standing and dancing, which in most other contexts might not seem impressive, but it definitely is here. There's even plans for KBG 84 to come to Tokyo, where they will perform a show at Shinagawa Prince Hotel's Club EX toward the end of June. So far, there's been no mention as to whether or not the no lovers rule comment to so many idol groups is being applied here. I guess there's only one way to find out. I'm gonna say lovers had gone down. But this is adorable and but speaking of not speaking of producer of Make It Pop TV show allegedly jokes about not wanting guys in it. The producer of the Nickelodeon K-pop show Make It Stop, which stars Megan Lee, joked that he would never have Asian males on his show, according to a first-person account of an individual present at the meeting. We have no, IATFB says he has no idea if the story is true or not, because you know how these things are. It's just something that somebody posted on Reddit, but it did name names and it got specific, so it's worth looking at. This is kind of what they said. The morning I sat in a boardroom meeting with TV executives and producers to hear about their new live-action kids show, Make It Stop, K-pop inspired musical comedy. I was excited to hear Asian culture was beginning to influence the Western mainstream, and when they told me 2 out of the 3 female leads were Asian girls, a Korean and Chinese Malaysian, I was delighted. That was until I found out the show had no Asian guys in them. Surprise, only white guys are in the show as the love interest for the Asian girls. At the producer's presentation during the Q&A, I mustered up the courage to ask, will there be an Asian guy in it? In a joking manner, the producer said, nope, never. Asian guys in my show, not gonna happen. While everyone else, albeit uncomfortably, laughed it off. Like, I'm gonna guess. Come on now, it's a show about Korean pop. Half the artists from the K-pop industry are Asian men. Most K-pop fans are actually non-Asian girls, women who are a fan of K-pop men. Excluding Asian men, K-pop is like going to Hooters without scantily clad waitresses. Nobody wins. Producer began to answer the question seriously and said he was hoping to get Psy to play the father of the main Korean girl. Mentally, I was shaking my head in disappointment.
I'm gonna fucking shoot myself now. I'm gonna build a gun and I'm gonna shoot myself.
You don't have a maker bot yet? You can 3D print yourself a gun? I'll go to work. There's a 3D printer at work. I'll 3D print myself. One, I have no idea. You know, we have no idea what true this is. It's almost too stereotypical to even believe. But then again, they get very specific. They name names. They name Thomas Litch as the guy who said it. Or okay, Tom Lynch, and Tom Lynch Company is the one indeed working on Make It Stop. In any case, you take this stuff with a grain of salt. I'll take it personally, but it is kind of silly, and it kind of does play into like, Asian guys can't be the love interest or the main characters. They're only there to be nerds. Side comic characters. It's a lot of. This show is dumb. So many.
All right, so besides the controversy that this particular thing is about, I am abruptly angry at the specific mentions of K-pop in this.
Yeah.
And the fact that someone even mentioned the fact of getting Psy to play the father. Not because it's Psy, right? Not because of that, but the fact that it would now, even more, besides Megan Lee being in it, have that much more of a direct correlation to K-pop and Korean music and those things. You know?
Yeah.
Like
we'll have to see.
I don't want this.
This is a dumb thing to
I don't
say.
want this in my life.
Yeah, this is a dumb thing to say, and really, really kind of plays into it's like it's hard. It's important to know that it's hard to know if this is actually true. Like, we don't know for sure if this is true, but it does play into the narrative that we know of Western media and the lack of Asian male representation in like leading roles and strong roles. I mean, like, all we had, on television was the show Selfie. We had John Cho, and like, and that got canceled. That flopped because it was okay show. Like, even with the chick from Doctor Who, even with the chick from Doctor Who that was also in Guardians, with Karen Gillian.
Right. I mean, you got fucking Steven Yeun
on Walking Dead, but even he's like, kind of like not necessarily the character, but I mean, he's there, right. And it's like there's only two types of Koreans that get jobs. That's a John Cho type and the Ken Jeong type / Bobby Lee type. There's like there isn't a diversity. Like, you won't find a Lee Kwang Soo type like in TV shows. I mean, in America. But yeah, this is dumb, and they're dumb if this is true. That's the last we will talk about. Make it stop. Washing my hands of that show, officially.
I don't even know what you're talking about anymore.
That's it for another fantastic episode of Hallyujuku. Switch overlays. Because it's late in the future, but whatever. That's it for another episode of Hallyujuku. Cass, what do you got going in your world? Back of the woods?
Not really a lot right now. Gonna take a little mini vacate to try to get everything reset. I do want people to look at for future episodes of Trinity Black Eyes. We got some really cool episodes coming up. We got one where we talked about the Power Rangers. We're gonna have one in the coming weeks where we talk about some the new gaming stuff. I'm gonna get I know for certain I'm gonna get good old Igos James Bartholomew from Indie Love to come on talk to us about some of this cool indie development stuff that's going on with all these engines going free to play. But other than that, like I said, there's really not much going on. Just keep listening to all the podcasts, having fun with that, and doing all that cool stuff.
He's at King Kaz and about.me/King Kaz. I'm at Petey Rave. About.me/Petey Rave. Hallyujuku, hallyujuku.com, kpoppodcast.com, rebelly.net for this and other shows, youtube.com/RABellyTV, according to Brian Ibbett, or just Rebelly TV. R.A. Salvatore, Rebelly. Rebelly TV. I will be doing other videos and stuff like that. I promise. I'm not gonna just spend money on a GoPro and a Zoom H4 for nothing. Not that crazy. So look out for that. And all the other things. Subscribe, share, like. rate, review, all the things. Until next time, hasta los huevos.
Give it to me straight, Doctor.
Fighting!
Give it to me straight, Doctor. Why, I think you're crazy. Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.